Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. As usual, I am your host, sellssi, and today we're going to talk about day 4 of training for the Ghana Black Stars. It was a gym session for the Ghana national team today on day 4, which saw Iñaki Williams also take part in that exercise. It was great to see him back in the Black Stars camp and hearty and happy and cheerful as always, as is the case with Iñaki Williams, speaking the local dialect and happy to be in camp. He was welcomed by the Black Stars team manager, and then later in the day they had their gym session. Camaraderie going on in the national team, as you saw at the start of the video, with that flip the bottle challenge by the players after a heavy gym session. We'll have more pictures of that gym session as they took part in it. We're also going to talk about Thomas Partey. The Ghana Arsenal coach Mikel Arteta has said Partey really wanted to play in the African Cup of Nations for Ghana, but it could not happen. We'll hear also from Quia, who is speaking extensively after Kevin Prince-Boateng came in and said that he was fighting for the players, and that is why he was sacked from the Black Stars camp. Quia has said that it was because he failed to apologize for disrespecting him. He has revealed all, and we'll hear what he has to say. But as usual, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, and click on the notification bell to get more updates. We jump right into it and talk about day 4 of training for the Ghana Black Stars, which was a gym session. The players hit the gym and got toned, muscle toned, that is. It's an important part of training, and day 4 of training also saw Iñaki Williams join the Black Stars camp. No news on Kudus MOHAMMED yet, but he is available and not yet in the Black Stars camp. He is not yet in the camp of the Black Stars. Would have seen photos and pictures and videos of him already. But Kudus MOHAMMED is expected to join the national team on day 5 of training. As you know, Ghana are lined up to play at the Baba Yara Stadium versus Namibia, who are currently camping in Accra. They are having a good time camping in Ghana, and they are enjoying the atmosphere and the weather. They say it is optimal for them, and it is amazing for them. It's great for them to be here camping in the country. But day 4 of training saw the players go through the regimen in the gym and get ready for day 5 of training. Coach Chris Hughton is hoping to make an impact in the African Cup of Nations. It will be his very first AFCON as a coach, and he will look to make a mark in there. My next story has to do with a coach who has been at the AFCON and the World Cup before, Coach Quia. He has been speaking. And my previous video, I told you about what he said concerning Baby Jetta Samuajan and the captaincy issue. The former Black Stars coach this time addressed the Kevin Prince-Boateng issue. After, I think, a couple of weeks or months ago, Kevin Prince-Boateng in a podcast with 5UK, Rio Ferdinand and his friends, said that he was fighting for the team, and that is why he was removed from the camp. Quia has said Kevin Prince-Boateng was sacked from the Black Stars National Cup in 2014 because he failed to respect him. According to him, if the forward had apologized, he would have forgiven him and he wouldn't have been sent home. It's not about him fighting for the players, because the players were fighting as a unit. His issue was personal. It's about being disrespectful. For me, I was not looking at that because players can behave in some way like that. When it happened, I felt it for 2 days, thinking he would come back to himself and will come and apologize. But he decided to carry on with his life. If he had come to say, "Coach, what happened? I'm sorry," I would have let it go. Meanwhile, KP Boateng in an interview last year indicated he was sacked in a cup because he was fighting for the players. And Quia, interesting that he's clearing the air on some of these issues. I think at the time I cleared the air on this, and really I accused Kevin Prince-Boateng of some things. He was reluctant to play in the African Cup of Nations, almost like he was really interested in playing for Ghana when we qualified for the World Cup. A whole lot of issues Kevin Prince-Boateng, I felt, should have addressed on that podcast. Why was he really selecting World Cups to represent Ghana? Why not African Cup of Nations? I have my own reservations on Kevin Prince-Boateng, but I also mentioned this, that it was not because he was fighting for the players. It was mainly because of the disrespect he showed towards Coach Quia. And Baby Jessa Samoajan at the time clarified that on Twitter. My next story has to do with Thomas Partey and Mikel Arteta revealing that Partey really wanted to be at the African Cup of Nations, but unfortunately it could not happen. The Arsenal coach explained that Partey made desperate efforts to recover in time for the AFCON. Speaking ahead of Arsenal's FA Cup match against Liverpool, Arteta disclosed that said common sense prevailed between the club and the FA in the handling of Thomas Partey's issue. He explained while it was the wish of Partey to join Ghana's team for the AFCON, it was just physically not possible for him to be in Ivory Coast due to the long-term injury he suffered in October. He provided an update on Partey's situation, hinting that the 29-year-old midfielder is nowhere close to returning to action for both Arsenal and Ghana. It was about common sense. He had a long-term injury. He really wanted to be with his national team, but he's still far off from training for the team, and it didn't make sense for him to be involved. Partey, who was named in Ghana's provisional 55-man squad, is one of the high-profile missing players for the Black Stars. Black Stars will head into the tournament without the likes of Kamaldeen Kofi, who has been out for a long time, Daniel Kofi in particular. Despite the absence, the players will be cheering their teams on when they commence the tournament on January 13th. Ghana will play January 14th versus Cape Verde. The game will be played at the Bonny Stadium at 8 p.m. Ghana time, and it will be interesting to see how things go from there for the Ghana national team. Thomas Partey wanted to go, and he unfortunately common sense prevailed because he has had a long-term injury and he needs to take care of himself first and foremost. He's nowhere near recovering, and as Coach Chris Hughton said, the timelines would be way off for Ghana if we decided to use Thomas Partey in this AFCON. And that is how I end today. Gym session, Iñaki involved, Kwesi clearing the air on issues, and also Thomas Partey really wanted to be at AFCON. Unfortunately, it was not possible. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great weekend.